I remember it vividly. I was standing on the edge of my toilet, hanging a clock. The porcelain was wet. I slipped, hit my head on the edge of the sink, and when I came to, I had a revelation. A vision. A picture in my head. A picture of this. This is what makes time travel possible. The flux capacitor.
Flux capacitor?
The flux capacitor. Capacitors? Lithium? Man, this is a deep subject, and we're going to try to hit the top of the iceberg without wrecking the ship. But today, it is Kicking It with Andy. We are back. Thank you guys for tuning in. Man, I got a lot to do. We have the amp dyno set up. We're ready to go. We got some lithium. We got capacitors, the SPL lab. And don't forget to enter the giveaway, www.kicker.com/umweekly. But without further ado, we got to wait for everyone else to get their seats, and we got a pretty cool intro. So without further ado, I will see you guys in 3 minutes.
Let's get it.
With Andy, Kicking It with Andy, Kicking It with Andy,
Uh-oh.
Kicking It with Andy, Kicking It with Andy, Kicking It with Andy,
Okay. I see what we're doing. Kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. We living loud. Hey, yo, we kicking it with Andy at the house. He's coming to you live from the casting couch. He's a kicker freak. Hey, yo, what you think? So grab a seat and get your favorite drink. Don't go nowhere, you'll be glad you waited. Indie content comes highly rated. He got more hits than a Brooklyn mobster, doing hair tricks in the Cookie Monster. Straight give you goosebumps like you ticklish. Hey yo, rest in peace to Chris the Fish. So get your popcorn and he's going live. But the show don't start till TV arrives. What?
John K. rolled up to learn some sound effects. You met the good peeps, now chill and relax. The after show is lit, yo, check the live chat. And there's a clip, you wanna try that. Kicking It with Andy is such a dope show. He stays super positive and a super chill bro. Making us laugh with his Big Ill memes. Quality content in all of his streams. Why does Cookie Monster bang harder than a wall? Cause he was the big brand name that started it all. Kick your bass so low that it's messing with your psyche. Y'all running sketcher while my homie running Nike. My homie running Nike. My homie running Nike. My homie running Nike.
Hey yo, Johnny, have a seat, relax. We got this next one. Yeah. Hey yo, check me out. Third verse like that, we say the best for last. Drop a super chat to get your questions asked. 5K subs, yo, he gon' hit. Got a L7X and a Recon kit. Tuesday and Friday, yo, we on the set. Unless he get that Patreon check, go ahead, subscribe, and he's on the mic. If you gotta run by, please hit the like. Solo and Wiz got that fish tank filled, but is he ever gonna finish that Walmart build? Ain't got a witness, so we'll never know. That was 3 minutes, now enjoy the show. Let's go.
My homie running Nike.
Hey yo, Andy, we love you, boy. Keep doing your thing, King. You got this.
My homie running Nike.
So it seems that we are live, and we're going to get right into it. The testing, But I gotta say hello to everyone first. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is the Kickin' with Andy show. And don't forget to enter the giveaway at kicker.com/umweekly. They do all the Kicker giveaways. And we do a little thing special here with the 50% off discount code, anything at kicker.com, which is awesome. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. And Matt is loving the Deviant and John remix. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. What we're going to pretty much talk about today is literally, you know, the difference between chemistry types of just the capacitors, the lithiums, and I might do it next week. I didn't have time. I want to do a comparison with an AGM, a group 31 versus a lithium of what is supposed to supplement it. So that might be a part 2 of this, but regardless, nothing about brands, just literally the type of chemistry, the jobs that these things are really intended to do, and maybe a battery that's a little bit more geared for us car audio fellas. And speaking of fellas, we got El Fuego in here, we got Blake. What is going on, everyone? Mr. Jason Grant, he is having a great day. He just got his L7X and box going. Can't wait to see the final product. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry, you're only seeing half my head, but this is the Amp Dyno stuff, and I feel like you guys really love this, and I enjoy it the most. And at the end of the day, we want to have fun here. William, hey, Kicker en masse with our host, Living Loud with Andy. You're a rock star. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much, William. And dude, this bass knob, version 2.0, 10 times better. Flick of the wrist, up, down, exactly what I needed. Thank you, William. I can't wait for these to be available for the public. Appreciate you tuning in, and we are in the Kicker Cave, if you didn't notice already, guys. But we got a lot going on here with literally a little bit of videos on the side here so we can see what's going on real time. On the right hand side of the screen, you're going to see a clamp that is literally in the front of your car. I have a 17-foot run of 8-gauge wire so that this gives us the worst case scenario in your vehicle. You know, maybe you should have proper size wire, but we're going to push things to the limit so we can see bigger differences. But I wanted to have a full 17-foot run, acting like this is a vehicle. If you do it real short lengths, you can get away with a lot smaller of a wire than you think you would normally have. But again, we have a camera for the clamp, and then we have a camera also for the SPL Lab so you guys can see real power. And what's cool about this all is this SPL Lab knocks out the park. Just look at that. We can see power in and power out. So the power in is on the right hand side, the power out is on the left hand side. Power out is what your speaker's getting. Power in is what it's pulling and demanding out of your car, and just stuff along those lines, man. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. And StreamYard, you're doing good so far. Appreciate you, StreamYard. We got Jake up in here. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Seems a current thing, people miss reading my replies. Hey, it happens, man. That's the English language. What's going on, Mr. Mullen? What is going on? Got a Facebook user. I remembered to bring Kicker Club with me this time. That would be smart. Let's see here. We got Elizabeth. Thank you for tuning in. Mr. Duffy, Sarah Dusty, Brian Lawson. Appreciate you guys. This is Sarah right now. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you, man. And I stick towards the end. I have some things on the computer set up, and it includes your posts. So we're going to involve that with the show tonight. But appreciate you guys. I miss doing the Tuesday shows in general, and especially the Kickin' with Andy. We had a little bit of a vacation, so we are back, and we're going to go full tilt boogie tonight. Got Dave and Goliath in here. Uncle Bobby B is in the house. What is going on, Uncle Bobby B? All my things are messed up, but you know what? We're still gonna do it because we can, and I don't know where that video went. I had so many. Here it is.
Uncle Bobby B, baby. Uncle Bobby B.
Thank you for tuning in, Uncle Bobby B. Appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Brenton Stein, what's going on, man? And I got some big news to tell you at some point. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I know. Sorry about Kicker Club. I try to do my best to look at the comments. Good old StreamYard. Hey, I'm excited, man. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Let me scroll down so I can get to the top comments and read them as they're coming. We got a quick question here. Freddie Ross, have a question. I have a CX 1800.1 remote on the amp is stuck in the open position, so the amp stays on for as long as it's hooked up. Is it safe to operate in this condition? Ooh, man, I would check where you're feeding that power to going into the remote. See if it's, getting 12 volts on and off. If it's not, that's your issue. If it's just always staying on, I know with some of the CX amplifiers, I know with the DX, they have switches for the signal turn on and stuff like that. I would check all your switches, but I know the CXs are pretty simple and they're excellent budget, if you want to call them that, amplifiers. And man, give me more details. Without further ado, though, I would say that you'd be okay, man. I really would, but always call Kicker Tech Support. They know a lot more than me, man. They do. But I know the basics, but stuff like that, it's nice to have someone on the phone so you can walk through the steps of what you got going on. It's going on Deviant. I guess we can start the show now. Thanks for tuning in, man. Joshua, Lawrence, what is going on? Appreciate you guys. We got Mike DePoli. What is up? We got Juan. Andy, how are you? I'm great, man. I'm just happy to do this, and this is the stuff that I like, because I try to explain to people, and I try to learn on this because it really, I don't know, it just tickles my feathers with electrical power, efficiency, what can I get away with, that kind of stuff. And we're going to go a little bit into that, of where if you have enough electrical in the back, it might actually be safer for the run of your car, and I'm going to show that live here. It's going to be cool. That was going to be the gist of my video, but I'm like, you know what, let's just go into the pool of capacitors and stuff like that, and just the chemistry, and maybe some of the ones that are a little bit cheaper compared to bigger capacitors or stuff that's DIY that you have to do a ton of, fabrication. Mike DePoli with some pennies. Thank you so much, Mike. Smash the button, guys. Make it rain. I thought that was Dave texting that, but that is Mike, and I appreciate you guys so much. Man, that is awesome. Congratulations, Brenton. Andy got good news, bro. Proposed last weekend, and she said yes. Congratulations and good luck. No, for real, though. Congratulations. And, man, that is awesome. And, speaking of which, great topic. You're getting engaged, and I dropped a little hint about why I'm going down to Stillwater this August, in the end of August here. Big news. Me and Kayla and close family are heading down to Stillwater because I will actually be getting married at Stillwater. So it's gonna be awesome. And I'm surprised Kayla went with it, and she did, and that's what makes me love her even more. And Steve and Aaron and everybody involved with that, thank you so much for making that happen. And I couldn't wait to tell everybody publicly, but that's what we're doing, and it's going to be awesome. And again, congratulations, Brenton. Man, that is awesome. I was like, why not? I have to do it. You're bringing up wedding bells, we're going to talk about it. William, thank you so much, man. Deviant's like, what? No way. Thank you, Juan. Appreciate you guys, man. Now we're never going to get to the show. I appreciate you guys so much, man. We're behind, but, it's going to be worth it. You already got the house, the kids, but you know what? We have to do it. We have to do it. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you, Mike. Appreciate you. Bobby, thank you guys. Facebook user, thank you, Brenton. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Double E, good morning, sir. Congratulations. Thank you, Kibo. Thank you, Sir Mac. Appreciate you guys. I know it's going to be epic. It's literally going to be epic. All right, so, man. Thank you, Blake. All right, so what we're going to do first is I might as well bring up all 4 screens here so you guys can see everything that's going on, and I got to just set up just a little bit. Let me know if you can't see anything too well. I can adjust things on the fly here. Thank you, StreamYard. And it looks like we're already set up on max on the clamp here on max hold. So we're good to go. I got a temp sensor just in case. You might see why, you might not. You never know. Deviant with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, man.
I don't care what you say about kickers. This guy is a difference maker.
Appreciate you, Deviant. For the cake topper from the crew. Thank you so much, Deviant. Man, you know what? We're going to need it. We're going to need it. We got the photographer booked and, you know, flights and everything, hotel stays, food truck, you know, the whole thing, the whole schmeal, and it's going to be crazy. All right, so let me just make sure everything's good because I've done this 3 times already just because I wanted to have everything 100%. But still, what we're going to do is we have the capacitor hooked up first. Just for the simple fact, this is kind of what it's under the spotlight. You know, we kind of know what lithium do, but some don't. So what we're going to do is see what this capacitor can do. I can even do it with nothing on, but this is the point of capacitor versus battery. And I don't want to get into it too much of just giving everything away, and I will definitely get into the details on why one's better in one scenario and vice versa. But let's just see some numbers, because when you're playing your system, you're banging, and you're playing DJ Rusticles, or you're playing Put On, or On My Level, or anything that's got a constant bass track, you're going to be pulling a lot of current for a surmountable amount of time. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a kick drum. Now, if you're playing rock and stuff, that's a different story. So we'll get all into that for sure. No, Ashy, I'm not married, but we're doing everything but that. You know. Yes, I am engaged. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Yes, sir. Cool. I know when I pulled out this Boss capacitor, it made me almost want to do the test with this giant Boss amp that I have. I know a lot of you seen it, but not everyone's seen it, and this is Kickin with Andy, so why not? I mean, look at this Boss amplifier. It's got VU meters. I know Derek would be going nuts, and it's just beautiful. It's never been powered on. Goodwill special. Paid $100 for this, but it's just massive. This thing probably weighs 15, 20 pounds. It's got gold-plated terminals. We're going to put it on the amp dyno eventually, guys. I'm telling you. Nothing against Boss. I love Boss for what it is, man. They make reliable stuff. And, you know, everything has its place. It really, really does. Not fiction. Fact, bro. You know it, John. Where's my invitation? No invitations. It's a private event, but that's why I kind of waited to let everybody know. But at the same time, I can't not tell you. You know, that's kind of hard, man. You've seen this room, the Kicker Cave, my shirt. The only thing I'm missing is a tattoo on my arm like Dave, man. I'm telling you, one day. But yeah, man, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. It's a lot of work, but it's going to be amazing, and it's going to go in a flash. But of course, you know, it'll be around a time where I can go live at Stillwater in the Unmasked studio, and guess what? Happens to fall on Kickin with Andy. So how cool is that? It's going to be awesome. I had a Boss amp just like that, man. They are killer. You know, you can believe ratings or not, or match things, and it kind of works if you just match the equipment, rating in the same brand. It works. But you know, this one is just, it's kind of a unicorn, man. It's killer. Deviant with some more pennies. Deviant, Jake, and John K. Wedding Crashers. That's why we're not telling you when. all the Discord guys would be down there, and everybody in Kicker Club. I believe it, man. I believe it. Yes, Boss has its place in 25's car, 100%. All right, so let me start getting this going here. Got to turn on the wireless bass knob. Got to turn on the amplifier. All these switches, man, this thing's crazy. Let's see. Cool. Now, on the screen where the voltage shows on the SPL lab on the top right, 14.9 is the lowest voltage of the actual clamp power. So it all works together. If you don't clamp any more power and you start pulling more current, that's not going to change. But the top 14.3 right there, that will dip down the lowest that it goes. But if you're not producing any more power, why would you use that calculation? 15.3 is obviously max, so I just wanted to show you guys a few things. The volt and amperage is just the how the AC is coming out of the amplifier, and ohms and all that fun stuff. So I got voltage here, which is actually down low, down by a JY NXT, but we actually have about 3 or 4 feet to where that 17-foot power wire connects to. So in a sense, we got our alternator, our front battery, and then we got our 17-foot run, and we're fused up front. And that's kind of why I wanted to do this, to make it literally like being in a vehicle, but I am in my bedroom. So next best thing. See, that was a really cool giveaway, and props for doing it. I was watching that one pretty close. Andy must have had red ones. I don't know about that, man. Thank you, though, Ashley. I appreciate you, man. Got to have the Bronco for the PA reception. You know, I was telling Kayla, because they were asking, you know, when you get married, they ask like 5 million questions. I was like, maybe we can drive away in the Bronco. You know, I think that would be pretty cool. Let's see. Yes, that's the live. Thank you, Mr. Adam. Man, Adam Russell has got me through a lot of this, and I actually have a lot of his USB tracks, which is just kind of killer, rather than using YouTube or, you know, just whatnots. This is kind of way designed and put together in a way that works for these amp dynos and stuff like that. 50-60 y'all in here tonight. Appreciate you guys. Fuse it or lose it. Thank you, Sound Doctor. Absolutely, man. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're just going to do the comparison kind of just at 2 ohms. I was going to do a certified run, but I'm like, you know what? Let's just do uncertified, because that's realistic. And I got it to a point where it's clipping maybe 5 to 10%. And that's about what the amp dyno does. But realistically, that's when you're clipping, you're going full tilt boogie and you just don't care. That's what you're kind of hearing. And I think it's realistic. Certified is one thing, but if you ain't clipping, you're tripping, man. Side note, if you're clipping on mids and highs, I think it's a little harder on your ears than clipping on the bass. But all depends setup. So what we're going to do is 2 ohms, and we're going to do a 40 hertz test tone, and then after that we're going to do a dynamic run and see if there's any difference between the dynamic run and just a test tone uncertified full tilt boogie kind of run. And we'll compare it between this capacitor and this lithium battery. This is the Salt MD20K, 20 amp hours, and I think it says 160 amp continuous, but I've put a ton of power on 2 JY NXTs. I clamped literally 5,400. It was like 4,800, 5,400 mecha standard, you know, including cone area. So they can do a lot of power. So that was clamping, pulling about 500 amps of current, if not more. And they're rated for 60. So they do some power. We'll say that. So let's just see how much power this capacitor can do by itself. And then let's see how much power that the battery can do. And we're also going to be looking at the clamp. How much power is coming through that wire that's going through your car to get to the amplifier? I feel like that is the biggest thing to look at in this. Aside power is going to be a difference. I'm not going to lie to you guys. And a lot of you already know. But the power coming through your wire, fuses, I don't know how many people say I'm blowing fuses, I'm melting fuses, and 9 chances out of 10, it is your connections. But the other 10th, you might see why. All right, so Kip the wedding, MC, maybe, maybe not. Absolutely. You already know it, Fuego. All right, let's pull up some test tones. And we are going to be set at 2 ohms. So volume 22 for these runs here. And appreciate you guys, man. 50-80 all in here. I know you guys love this stuff. So do I, man. This is the bee's knees. All right, so we're already going. I think this will start blinking when the power changes. Let's see. Give me a second here, guys. Unless it's not on. No, it was on. Bear with me. This remote wire assembly broke. I've had this thing for literally forever. And yeah, so that whole assembly broke, but it works. All right, so let me reset that just so we get a nice clean sweep going up. And we're just going to ramp it up, let it hit top, and then drop it down. Give the capacitor its best chance. Just because capacitors, they're made out of static, or not static electricity, but they work like static electricity. Carbon, just different materials. There's pretty much no resistance in between it. It's just instantaneous. There's no, per se, stuff to go through for the molecules and electrons to flow through. They kind of bounce. And that's the whole cool thing about capacitors. They just store a little bit of power, but they can discharge it faster than any other battery. So let's see if this 8 farad capacitor, see what it does. $655 watts. For some reason that keeps coming undone on me there. I just ramped that up one more time just to make sure here. Yep, there we go. Dropping down to 12.4 on the capacitor. The capacitor right here is telling me 12.4, but we were seeing 11.7. Let's just run that one more time, just because. And these things charge instantaneous, so this is something we can do this kind of over and over. The other batteries, I wouldn't say quite as much. Not as fast. Let's try that one more time. Now we see it clicking, bobbing. It's doing its thing, man. Flux capacitor is ready to go. Ready for takeoff. Yep, see it's still saying 12.3, 12.4 on the capacitor voltmeter. But on the amplifier, which is more resistance, you got another 3 feet of wire there. And again, all 8 gauge, so you're going to have voltage drop. Well, we got 643 watts, and the current pulling 1,000, pulling 92 amps. And I'm going to write all this down, but let's take a look at... Oh! Did that go off on me? That's no fun. We're going to have to do this one more time, ladies and gents. Yeah. I want that. I want to show you guys the difference. One more time. You know, I've did this test 500 times already. Let's see if we're good. All right, we're good. Let's go full tilt. And about the same power. 643 watts, pulling 89 amps of current. And 89 amps from here. From 6 inches to 12 inch, I'd say more 10 to 12 inch, depending on how long your inches are, from the amplifier. And that's how much current's being pulled from the amplifier, from the capacitor. Now, from this long run, going to the front of your car, starting at the front of your car after your alternator or your battery, we're pulling 103 amps. We're pulling more current from there all the way through the car than from the battery in here. And that's kind of what I really want to talk about, guys. Just because, yes, power to the back of your stuff means more power, right? But if you're not fused properly, if you're not gauged on your wire size properly, you could have a bad day. You could start melting fuses, popping fuses, and just stuff along those lines. So let's get to it. Let me write this down just so we have everything. Appreciate you guys. We got Mr. Seth Duffy, Andy, gonna be married with children. You know it, man. Rick Moore, what's going on? Mr. Duffy will be there. He is my best man. Sorry, everyone else. Love you guys. Seth Duffy got that. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate all you guys. Excuse me. Steve Barber's watching. And Cameron Wilder, what is going on? All right, cool. So we're going to write down, I'm just writing this down just so I have it. Capacitor. We'll do tone. Because I wrote all this down on my phone, but I want to do the test here live as well at the same time here, guys. Andy, this is Mom. You're glitching. Am I really glitching? I hope I'm not glitching. Some kids and Disney Plus and all that stuff. All right, so we got 643 watts at 2.2 ohms, close enough. And we'll just say that we pulled 89 amps. And we dropped down to 11.7 volts. 11.9. 61% efficient, 61.4. And on amp, just got to write this down so I know the difference. And on the clamp in the front of your car, we have a 50 amp fuse right there. That's it. That's a 50 amp fuse. And we pulled 103 amps out of that little guy. What was it, 103? 103.7. That's a lot of current through that little wire. All right, let's redo the test. And now what we're going to do is the dynamic run. So this is just, you know, simulating drums, just music, punchy stuff, not a continuous bass wave. And you should get a room with a vibrating bed. It would definitely have to play below 40 hertz, Ashy, you know, for sure. Much felicitation. Yes, Ruben, thank you for tuning in. Temp gun. Yeah, we could do a temp gun. We'll have to do that right after we run so we can get an idea here. Now we want this. Is that the Beamer? Nope, that's the Bentley. Alright, we got 74, 73. I don't know if you guys can see on the screen there. 76, 79, but that's like a couple minutes after. So let's do the dynamic run next. Let me pull this off here so I can see all the comments coming up. Take a sip of my water while I'm switching everything. Turn this down just so we're good. Now with this dynamic burst, what I'm going to do is full tilt boogie. And pause just so we can give this thing the best chance that it got. This thing was not turning off for me this whole time. I think it's just because of how this is. Alright, we got to turn this up to 11. Actually 35. Alright, cool. I'll put this as front. I know I'm not like talking super much, but at the same time, this is testing live. If you'd watch a amp dyno or a video on this, it'd probably be like 5-6 minutes long, but we're gonna make it an hour. Cornut with $1 or $100 super chat. Thank you so much, Cornut. Appreciate you guys. And you know what? I actually reached out to StreamYard asking them about this, and they didn't respond to me yet. Because I want to see the stickers, man. I want to see them dance and do their thing, man. Appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Rebo, what is going on? They need to make fuses that pop above their rated power much quicker than they do now. That's no bueno at all. And you know what? All fuses are not made equal. I did a bunch of tests, actually. I was going to use 30 amp fuses here. And they're all blown. They're all blown, and they blew at about 40 amps. And that's where they should blow, you know, you would think. But these ones are pretty tough. They're all maxi fuses. I paid $5 for 10 of those, and I paid $7 for 3 of those. So you can tell the difference. All right, cool. So we're good to go. We're ready. Everything's working. Let me reset this clamp. That's what I'm saying. This is just a lot, but it's like you got to do it. Like I was saying, you know, we could do this in 6 minutes in a video and cut, edit, but we're doing it live. And that's why I think it's so cool, and that's why I love the Kicker on Mash Show, because it's Kicker. But the live demonstrations, I thought they were the coolest thing ever. All right, so let's do it. Let's hit it. Full tilt boogie, full tilt boogie. 2 ohms. This is like your dynamic run on your 81 Derek Williston dyno. Let's see how much power it can do with the Boss capacitor. You know, this thing doesn't just turn off. It's just the LEDs go away when you don't change the voltage for a while. And just because I want to make sure it's on, you know, it's not just a pass through. Give it a chance. And there we go. We're good to go. All right, let's see what we can do. 2 ohms, dynamic burst. 657. We did 643. Yeah, we are full tilt. Full tilt. Try it one more time. That's it. And we dropped down to 11.5 volts, 98 amps from the amplifier, from capacitor, and 115 amps out of that little 50 amp fuse. Now let's check the temperature on that, huh? 85, 86. You know, I bet you any money you keep going on that, that will blow. They usually blow above like 100 on this temp gun for my my testing. All right, so cool. Let me write this down, and we'll keep going. We'll keep going. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Well, I guess I could leave that on there, huh? So you guys can see the power as I'm writing it down, stuff like that. Pretty sure I lost a down for sound JP23V2 a few weeks ago because the 350 amp fuse that I have going from my headway to my amp didn't blow when it should have. Now I have to find a shop. Now I have to find a shop to repair the amp. All right, so quick tip on this. 115 amps on a dynamic pulse. Seems like a lot. We did like 90 or 103, I think it was, on a continuous sine. Just like a subwoofer, it's time over power equals heat, yada yada, and just, you know, how that works. So you got that factor, but then also the length of the run. That's why I have, I don't know if you can see here, right here, I have a whole wrap of wire. I know it's a toroidal coil, you know, and when I start pulling a crap ton of power out of that, it starts vibrating, okay? So it turns into a speaker. So, to get to the gist of it, when you have a 350 amp fuse, and say you got 0 gauge runs going from your headway to your amp that's like 4 feet away, look at the power chart. Look at 0 to 4 feet, how much current can go through that wire safely. And you'll notice that, you know, it's a lot more than 350. Maybe, I don't know, I'd have to look at the chart, but it's more. That's why the fuse just isn't blowing, because there's actually less resistance in that shorter run. Now if it was 17 feet, you probably would have more resistance in the run, just because the wire is longer. Just same reason why they got more wraps around a dual 4 compared to a dual 2 or whatever, just to get a higher resistance. So you got more resistance, more current for the same amount of power at the same voltage. That's why fuses blow. And if you have it real short, you're pretty much fusing for a dead short. You're not fusing for current. So, and that's really why I want to get into how much current's coming out of this guy right here. And that's, you know, maybe that's your situation right there. I'm not exactly sure, but hey, appreciate you tuning in. Electromagnetic, that is it. Stick a nail in there and see what happens. You know what, Double E, I'm lucky, but I am not that lucky. All right, cool. So, on the burst tone, we got 657 watts, and we pull 98 from that cap. Drop down to 11.5. We actually pulled more current. You know, it's crazy. I always see Derek Williston's amp dynos, and whenever he does the dynamic run, it always seems to pull less current. And I don't know if our dynamic run's different than theirs, but I think it is. I don't know. But either way, it's still simulating music. And it's pulling more current, and it's making more power. You would think it would. So, I don't know, just a note for thought. So, and our efficiency, well, not really too worried about that, but, you know, it's around the 60s. And this amplifier is a CEA rated amplifier at 4 ohms, 500 watts. It'll do it all day. It's rated at 900 RMS at 2 ohms and 1 ohm, but as you can see, it doesn't quite do those numbers, but it reminds me of a bigger Slash 500 in a way, where it does a crap ton of power at 4 ohms and does around the same power at 2 and 1, and that's about it. But either way, we got our score, and then I need to write down the current that we pulled in and go from there. Again, guys, I will drop the link here before I forget. Make sure you guys go enter for the giveaway, kicker.com/umweekly. It's right there too. There you go. Kicker.com/umweekly. All right, cool. And we had 115.9. That's a lot of current coming through there. And that's important. Trust me, guys. It's important. All right, let's go back to the 40 amp dyno run. And bear with me now. We're going to disconnect everything. And we're going to hook up the lithium battery and see how much power that does. 40 minutes in, man, we're going to have just enough time to do everything here. It's because the gains are set higher than what you are at, and I believe it. I believe it, Adam. Gains are set to full tilt boogie. All right, cool. Let's do it. Always pull the fuse if you can. just in case. You never know. Let me reset this. Excuse me. Gotta love these kicker tools. These things are awesome. Find them at kicker.com in the stuff section. They're actually really affordable, and they're quite convenient. They work for pretty much every kicker amplifier, seems like, ever made. I have a lot of them. Works for them all. Has a Phillips screwdriver on it and a flathead. I believe a flathead too. It's killer, man. Really is. Man, I did this like 40 times off camera. I'm like, how am I gonna do this live? I'm like, I can do it. I can do it. Don't blow yourself up, Andy. You'll be all right. Take your time. One thing I learned in life: take your time. Horsepower over wattage. I mean, Warhorse 10K, that's got how much horsepower? Like 10, 11, 12, about 13 horsepower, give or take. It's a pretty strong amplifier, man. All right, now we are connected to the Salt MD20 lithium. I believe this battery costs around $550, $600. Now, in price, that's equivalent to 2 AGMs, and really lithium should be equivalent to about 3 for like the amount of power they can do, you know, and you still can't compare the two because lithium discharges way faster than AGM, but has less capacitance for the size, maybe. Definitely not the weight. They're way lighter, but still apples and oranges. But regardless, and we might, if I have time. I mean, we don't have to keep this to 1 hour. I mean, Kicker keeps it to 90 minutes-ish. So I do have another JY NXT battery sitting right here. We could compare this as well. I know Travis, he's seen this. He's like, man, I'm gonna have to go buy a capacitor. I'm like, do it, man. And he's gonna compare the two, but I mean, we could do it as well. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. So check the comments. Cool. We're good. Appreciate you guys hanging in. Awesome. We on hold? Yeah, we're on hold. Now we're not. Now we're on hold. Let me know if you guys can still see everything okay. You know, if there's any issues, just let me know. You guys are great for it. In a good way. All right, see, we're pulling 1.6. Okay, that's charging. Not like it has to charge, but let me reset the SPL lab here. Take a swig of water. Rumor has it Andy is going to be wearing his N1 shorts at the wedding. You know what? I know I have to buy more khakis. It probably will. You know, I feel like that half the time. All right, so what we're going to do. All right, we got the 40 hertz test tone going. Let's go to our volume 22. We don't need this anymore. I mean, we could put it, yeah, we'll put it there. That's fine. One less thing out of my way. Yes. Anderson connectors. I know I was looking at Anderson connectors and ones for 1/0 that are like 200 amp or 350. I think they're 350 amp. They're like $35 each one. And I kind of tried to do it too fast. I was like, should I wait for this for a week so I can get some Anderson connectors, or just do it and just bite the bullet? I bit the bullet and I didn't want to wait. But yes, agree 100%. I have some 8 gauge 50 amp ones for the Warhorse, but no, I didn't grab any of those. I was going to. All right, so now let's do the 2 ohm uncertified. This is just the test tone, and see what it can do. We're at the same volume, volume 22, volume all the way up on the phone, and let's do it. That is hold. Just don't want to have to do it again. All right, full tilt boogie. And we got 756 watts. Wow, that jumped up a lot. Last time we did was 643, and we dropped down to 11.9. We're dropping down to 12.6 now. Don't yell at either of these, the capacitor or the battery, for the voltage drop per se. I am giving it the worst situation. I am pulling 100 amps on almost every run out of 8 gauge wire that's meant for 50 for that amount of length. So I'm really stressing it, and it's going to be harder for it to charge, discharge, have good voltage, yada yada, more resistance in the run. You know the deal. And would you look at that? I'm going to write these scores down, but you guys need to see this stuff. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. We pulled 103 amps from the battery and the amp. Now, on that long run, remember we were pulling 103 amps out of that little wire up front? Look how much power we're pulling now. That's it. 62 amps. And we're pulling more power. Now you're going to ask me, why is it doing that? Why is it doing that? And I'm just going to tell you simply, the battery's doing the job. Battery's doing the work. And I was originally going to do this test with AGMs, because with Kayla's car until the past, I don't know, month, not even, she had 8 gauge going front to back, clamping 2 to 4K. Now, the batteries would die within like 3 to 5 minutes. You know, it would just be exhausted. But I could do it. And it wouldn't blow a 50 amp fuse in that 8 gauge run. And I'm like, I got to do a video on this. And, you know, I do not suggest doing that, because you're just putting a lot of strain. You're cycling your battery, you're cycling your capacitor, whatever you got back there. But I feel like a battery is going to take more of a brunt of the power compared to a capacitor that can discharge and recharge faster. I feel like even this lithium pulls more current out of that wire than an AGM, because it can charge faster, and resistance and just chemistries and all the XYZs of why these batteries have their pros and cons make that difference. And that's why I still do want to do an AGM versus lithium comparison next, because you can see we're doing more power. And I mean, the price kind of, you know, makes that happen. You know what I mean? You're paying 5 to 7 times more for this battery, but I feel like it's doing a lot more. Now, not anything against capacitors or this capacitor. I mean, when you're buying Boss, you know, you're usually a entry base head. You're trying to get into stuff, and they make it more available for you to buy without saving 3 paychecks. Now, the whole thing with capacitors is, with the whole recharge discharge thing, think of it like a race car. You got a car, it's a good on the drag strip, it's probably not going to be good on a circuit. Same kind of thing with a capacitor versus any kind of battery. These aren't going to have much capacity. So what happens is, yes, they can discharge and recharge super fast, but there's nothing really taking the brunt, because then it's just being depleted milliseconds at a time, over and over and over and over, because you don't have enough input power. You don't have enough input power, and there's not enough capacity in this. And that's why I kind of wanted to get into, like, you know, yes, bigger capacitors can work even better than that when you have a lot of them, and you're talking 500, 2,000, 3,000 farad capacitors. Even these JY NXT hybrids, if you want to call this a capacitor, which it is, but it's a hybrid, has 2,000 amount of farads, but then it has lithium and, you know, just molecules inside of it, which make it a little bit slower than your average ultra or super capacitor. That's just a capacitor with carbon, but it has more capacity. It's kind of like giving you a mix of the two, and that's why it's called a hybrid. And now these salt ion batteries, that's more on the side of just lithium and a little bit more green, eco-friendly, and more readily available. Or maybe not eco-friendly, but at least more readily available, being that it's sodium and just not, other stuff that regular lithium batteries have that use their electrolyte. So regardless, let me write down these numbers, and we need to do the burst. Maybe this is better at tone and the capacitor's better at burst. Let's find out. You raised a good man, Mr. McGill. Thank you, Dave. I guess my dad's in here. We got Mr. Cornut. Let's see. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you go enter the giveaway. We got 10 minutes. It looks like 12 minutes left to go enter the giveaway. I will drop the link one more time for everybody. Appreciate you guys so much. Let's see. Did I miss any super chats? No, we're good. Okay. That's just those $100 super chats just won't go away. Let's see. Yeah, my dad is here. Papa McGill. We got Dubby here. Mom's phone was glitching. Okay, good. I wouldn't be surprised. It's StreamYard. They have their pros and their cons just like every battery. Full tilt boogie. That's it, man. That's it. Cool J. Chilling with the EPM. Yes. That means I'm chilling. All right, awesome. Caught it for the most part. And Cornut throwing pennies. Jeez, here comes the penny. I'll never get sick of those pennies, man. Thank you so much, Cornut. Appreciate you, buddy. You're awesome. Thank you. Forgot to bring out your Amazon van. It's parked over there by J5. But we had to do a few other things here. So, yeah, let me write this down. I'm getting confused here. I am not great at multitasking. All right, so we did capacitor. This is going to be the salt. And we did the tone. So, and we got 756 watts. Again, 110, 112 more, but I feel like that's just because it's the same resistance, higher voltage, and the amplifier can produce more power. Let's see, now the amp pulled 100 amps, so it actually pulled more power out of the amp than the capacitor did, but pulled less out of the fuse, which is just, I like that. I like that just for the simple fact there's less chance of a fire or something happening in your car because you got less current coming from front to back. Your battery's doing the work, and it's getting charged too. Don't get me wrong. All right, we'll just say 100 amps. That's close enough. 100.1. Awesome, and we got 60 people in here still. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I miss doing this stuff. Like, we could do this on Fridays, but I feel like Fridays are just fun Fridays. So I don't know. I got a lot of content to do. It's like, do I do videos? Do I do lives? I like lives, but videos are cool too. All right, so we dropped down to 12.6. Let me know if the mic sounds any better. I try to mess with it a little bit, as long as I don't sound like I'm at 30,000 feet in the air. I am happy with that. 60.5% efficient. See, we're pulling 1,200 watts out of that battery, and we're only producing 750. And efficiency is a whole nother ball field, man, of what you need in your trunk, It's not, I just got a 3K, how much power do I need? Well, what kind of amp do you got? That's very important. And then the front, front of the car, we pulled 62.7 amps. I know they actually have a calculator. You type in the amount of fuse rating you have and how much current you got, and it'll tell you how long that fuse will last for, within reason. It's pretty cool. All right, so let's do the burst, and we're gonna have to turn, we'll turn everything up once we get onto the burst, just in case I don't just, burst the dyno instead. All right, cool. And we'll reset everything. All right, we're good. Plus, that gives a little bit of time for the battery to charge. Again, man, this charge is pretty fast compared to an AGM. An AGM, it just takes a lot longer to charge just because there's more internal resistance in the battery. It's just that big factor. And the type of chemistry that's inside of it and how it takes those electrons to flow from one side to the other. It's not in this show to describe it. Do your own due diligence research. There's tons of information on different battery chemistries. But if you have any questions, man, I'm always in the Discord, my Patreon, Facebook. I try to message when I can, and YouTube in the comment section or these live streams. Usually when I'm not doing them live, I am more on the comments, but, you know, it's kind of hard to have a show and read the comments and do an amp dyno, and yeah, it's fun. Appreciate you guys, though, man. Fire, no big deal. Not at all. All right, so let's reset this. I'm glad I came over here. Reset that. You guys can see those numbers pretty good, right? I tried to, you know, with the light and yeah. All right, so that's on. That's on. Voltage looks good. 15.3. And now we need to go full tilt boogie. William, I love his bass knob now. Like the other one was great, but this one is faster, super responsive. Go back, forth, back, forth. I don't have to wait for no pause. Exactly what I needed. Thank you, man. 65 people in here tonight. You guys want to see a fuse blow? Well, it ain't gonna blow with that, I'll tell you that. Maybe without a capacitor. All right, cool. Let's do the 2 ohm dynamic run. Let's see what it can do. This is with the lithium battery. We did 657 watts on the capacitor. Wow. Now, I feel like if we had an AGM, this might not be the case. And I feel like that is a big reason why lithium has taken over the game. I mean, other than being, you know, more power dense and lighter, you know, the discharge values when you have the right kind of battery type is insane. 781 watts. A little bit more than we did on a test tone, but still more dynamically than the capacitor. I feel like the capacitor might have a better shot against a lead acid battery in the dynamic run, because that's what they're really designed for. You know, and when you get those flickering of the headlights, you know, sometimes your voltage, your voltmeter doesn't calculate as fast as how far your voltage is really dropping. So you might throw lithium in the back of your car, but your headlights are still dimming. Maybe I think if it would work, if it was safe under the hood, a capacitor under the hood, just for the simple fact it's closest to the headlights and you're not going to have any draw. And I feel like it could help with the dimming of the headlights. But honestly, you can get LED headlights or just ones that have a ballast, and it just they're never gonna dim too much unless they go way below a certain voltage. But your regular not condensant, but halogen, stuff like that. So awesome, cool. Let me write this down. Oh, let me see how much current we pulled out of the fuse. 69 amps. That's it. 69. I'm gonna write that one down first, because that is what I am most impressed with. Other than the power, how, you know, and that's the idea of having storage. You know, it's like you got your capacitor, but you got no gasoline. You know, you got straight nitrous, you know, and I feel like I'd rather have a little bit of, you know, nitrous mixed with my gasoline, higher octane. And I feel like that's what lithium is. And maybe an AGM or lead acid is more like a, you know, regular octane fuel with some octane booster in it with an AGM. I don't know. You know, I try to compare things, you know, so people kind of understand how it works. But it's, you know, it's not science. But still, just try to give you guys an idea. Let me write this down for the 4th time. 69.3. Appreciate you guys tuning in, man. We got William from Kicker in the amp room. Thank you for tuning in, William. Robert, Lauren, Morel, thank you for tuning in. Todd, Steve, Garrick, Jason Stokes, Rick Moore. Appreciate all you guys, man. Thank you for tuning in to Kicker Club. It's an awesome group. We just hit 25,000 members. How cool is that? It's growing really fast. And with a lot of positivity. I mean, it's the internet. You're going to have some negativity. Oh, how could you single baffle a Solo X build? Minus. You know, not my 18, but my 12. Jake built. Perfectly fine. One of the loudest ones out there for a single 12 for what it is. I mean, I know we're early in the running here, but still. Sounds great. You don't see that thing moving either. It's all in how you build it too. How big the panel is and bracing, stuff like that. All right, so we pulled 108 amps out of that battery. So I bet you any money, if you would add these two together, you would get the same kind of numbers for how much current you're doing if you averaged it together. Because, you know what I'm saying, like it's not pulling it straight from the power wire, it's pulling it more so from the battery. And because the battery's staying at a higher voltage, the amplifier is producing more power. Just kind of a win-win. Now, could you run all these three together? I mean, you probably could get even more power, or it might not even make a difference, just because, I don't know. I feel like you might need, for this amount of power, you're going to need bigger than an 8 farad Boss capacitor, or any 8 farad capacitor. You're going to need the excess, you know, 3000 farad, and then when you wire them up to get, you know, 13, 15, 16 volts, because they start at 3 point something like any other lithium cell, and when you wire in series, your your farads go down. So you have to build multiple banks. So for a 3000 farad capacitor bank of 6, it actually equals 500 farad, and that's it. And that's still a lot, but you know, it's still, at the end of the day, you know, you need a lot of capacitors to have a lot of capacitance or capacity, but they have a ton of discharge. They should just call them something else, not capacitors, because they have no capacity. They need to call them like boosters. I don't know, like turbochargers for your car, you know, or nitrous bottles. That's about it. Want to appreciate the world test, Andy. Absolutely, man. Appreciate you so much for tuning in. Appreciate all you guys, like 100%, dude. David Monroe. Doesn't Vega work in a battery factory? What's his opinion, man? He's another guy, and that's why I love his channel. Love him too, man. And he goes right up my alley with the stuff that I like to learn about. Yes, he does work in a battery factory. I got 500 of them. Okay, talking about chips. Awesome. Let me take a sip of water here. Go enter the contest now or forever hold your peace. You got, nope, just kidding, it just ended. Let's see, let me take a look on my computer here. Ended, it's too late to enter. We are dropping the banner. We're dropping it, but we're throwing up the Patreons because you guys are awesome. Thank you, Deviant. All right, cool. So I got that written down. I got to write down the voltage. We dropped down to 12.4. So we dropped a little bit more than on the test tone run, but again, we're getting more power and 58% efficiency. I noticed that the efficiency on this, on the dynamic run, was lower than on the capacitor. We did 59% efficient on the burst, which is what that thing's good at, and this one did 58.6. Now, of course, we clamped another 130 watts, 650 from 780, but the amplifier in a whole was more efficient, and that could be, I mean, it's only a % difference, but at the same time, I feel like there might be a reason to that. And I don't know, man. I don't know. And even the efficiency with the capacitor versus the lithium there, it was more efficient on the tone than on the salt. Now that could be we're stressing the amplifier's power supply section down more because we are producing more power, and it's at 2 ohms, not 4 ohms. But there are so many variables with amplifiers, it gets insane. If you talk to an amp repair guy, they're gonna just walk circles around me and you. It's just, there's so much involved, and I try to make it simple as I can with what I learned. All right, cool. So we got that. Awesome. Let's see. What else did I need to do? We did the burst. We did the tone. We did the capacitor. I mean, we could do the JYNXT. I could do that for you guys. If you really want to do that, let me know if you want to see the JYNXT compared to it. Let's see. Awesome, awesome. I thought... Oh. StreamYard glitching big time. Oh my god. StreamYard's glitching. I thought farads were little fuzzy animals. No. Ferrets. It's actually $4.99. What, the capacitance, the farads? Juan wants to see the JYNXT. Big damn 28. Of course we do. I'll take the power, screw a little efficiency. Right, you know, and I feel like, yeah, you're not going to notice, especially because you, even though you're more efficient for the amount of power that you're pulling, well, I didn't write it down, but we're still pulling 61 amps, no, that was efficiency, 89 compared to 100, so even with that efficiency drop, you're still, if things were equal, it wouldn't matter. You would still be just making more power, and you're still pulling a ton of current out of your battery, more so because you are making more power regardless the efficiency. It would have to be like 70-80% efficient for it to really make a difference on comparing the two, if that made a difference. Absolutely, Cornet. Let's see that JYNXT. I bet it puts out more power. You know, this thing is got some bang for its buck. I mean, we got one down there, but that's our front battery. And 17 feet plus another 3 feet before that battery even, you know, starts. So it's 23 feet away, give or take. So that JYNXT down there is really not doing a heck of a lot, but neither is your front battery. You know, it's really not. You need something close. You really do. All right, cool. Thank you, Matt, for tuning in, man. Appreciate you guys. Am I talking a lot tonight? Because my throat is getting dry quick. Awesome. Let's do it. Let's unhook the fuse. We're going to need 2 different things. The only thing, I love the JYNXTs, I do. The down for sound ones, I think, are nicer just because they have top post terminals. These are a little difficult to work with on the side, but they're meant to be put in a bus bar. And so that's that. But otherwise, these things are crazy for what they are. They're so tiny. And what's cool about these, I think, yeah, these ones you can run, was it this one or is it the sodium? One of these ones you can run down to 0 and it doesn't do anything to the battery. Won't kill it. It's one of these two, I forget which one. But either way, awesome technology, JY. You guys kill it. Boss, you did great tonight, but I think you were outweighted in the weight class, so maybe we'll pull out a AGM. And then maybe we can do an AGM versus Lithium and a AGM versus Capacitor, you know? I don't know, man. You guys tell me. You guys are the ones watching, so it's got to be interesting. It's got to be interesting for you guys, too, you know? You're the ones watching. Part 2! I mean, Kicker used to do Part 2 series and stuff. Sorry about that. And that's the reason why I went with the this Kenwood amplifier, was because so I could switch things around in case I want to do a test with just the amp itself. But I feel like with having extra connections, I'm not giving that capacitor a chance. And I'm just going to give you guys a spoiler. It does a little bit more power without the capacitor hooked up, but I feel like that is because there are extra connections. There are extra connections, extra feet, and the battery is so much better for just output of power, and it costs more, it's bigger. It kind of negates that little bit of a difference. So I feel like to really compare it, would have it be everything equal, you would have to change the run of this wire so that it would be the same when you're adding the capacitor, so that you're not adding extra internal resistance. I tried to keep things 100% fair. I hate when people compare things and their control is not the same. It's like that's not science, man. You got to keep it the same. You need to keep it control. Science. Appreciate you guys though, man. If you lick a capacitor like a 9-volt, what's it taste like? Electrifying. I don't know, man. I don't I don't know if I want to know. I know that whenever I first hooked up this capacitor, this capacitor is not turned on for about 4 years, and I think that time I had it on for like a second, and it was on a wall here. It was mounted on the wall behind the other Boss amp I have, the Sony. It was like over in that section there. Definitely a sparky taste. And so it hasn't been turned on in a long time. And when I first hooked it up, the spark was insane. It was huge. Not like a yellow, you know, like scary spark, but it was a big zap. And that's, you know, kind of goes to show how those things, they got a lot of discharge current. You know, their resistance is so low, they can release that current faster at the same voltage. Now, the whole 18 or 24 or 20 volt capacitor, how they have them labeled, I don't know what that means, but I don't believe any of that stuff. But a capacitor itself, absolutely, man. And it just stores energy and can discharge and recharge super fast and has very low capacitance. Again, I do not know why they called it a capacitor, because they barely have any capacity. Doesn't make sense, man. All right, so let's do this JYNXT here. This will be last up, and then we'll go over there and do the giveaway. The current will explode your tongue. Tastes like the other side of the room ceiling. Yes. Hey, it's a good way to go. I'm always somewhere new, so I gotta hit up the... Yep. Oh, my goodness. All right, what if you have a resistive tongue? I mean, your body has its own resistance. I mean, that's why you get shocked by lightning, you know, and anything. Got electricity flowing through you all the time. All right, so that's good. This is good. This is held. I need to put the fuse in. That would help. Otherwise, it would be on standalone power, which you can do standalone power too. You can do that. I don't want to keep you guys all night, but I mean, you guys tune in here, obviously, to see amp dyno stuff and capacitors and testing and yada yada. I'll tell you this, you can't undo that fuse and have that capacitor on. It literally dies within like 10-15 seconds of just being on idle. There is no capacity in there. It's very small, whatever is in there, and a battery has a lot more. Now this has a little bit less than this one, but this has a lot of discharge for the size it is compared to that one. You know, if you had the amount of, you know, size of this battery the same as that, this is going to have way more discharge than that one, but that one might have more capacity at the end of the day, because this is only 2 amp hours, this is 20. So even if you had more, might not equal that 20. It might be like 12, 15, you know, just kind of rounding things around. What rails? Chat has left the building. This chat has done left the rail. I know. It really has. It's okay. You guys are having fun, man. Alright, cool. So, yeah, I wrote all that down. I guess we can write down the JYNXT. Sorry, Travis, we're doing it. NXT2. But yeah, guys, spoiler, if you want a JYNXT, these are only sold in stores. But if you want one just like it, go to Down for Sound. I got my link. And it should be in the description. If not, it's in my channel bio. Down for Sound. Go check it out. They literally have like the same one, and it's 300 bucks. These things, I would call these the 2023 capacitors. You know, you could throw this in your car, and we're going to see what it does. See what kind of current it pulls. See what kind of power it does. And go from there, man. Alright, so let's do the test tone first, how we've been doing it, and then we'll do the burst. Let me crank that down, crank this down. Again, Will, I cannot thank you enough for this, man. This thing is working great. Alright, let me get this on hold, excuse me. See, we're pulling 5 amps. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Let's do it. Woo! Alright, we did 749 watts, pulling 98 amps from the battery and the amplifier. And up here we pulled 67. So how does that reflect to everything else here? The capacitor, I know it's not going to be the same as the amount of current draw that the capacitor was doing. The capacitor was pulling over 100 amps from the front of the car, 103, 115. And if you just had the amplifier, it's going to do the same thing too. Maybe less, because that capacitor can discharge and recharge faster than what's maybe in the amplifier itself. I don't know. We can do testing another time for that. But regardless, yeah, Timu's getting large, yes. Sorry, ADD kicking in there. So we did 756 with the tone of the Salt MD20, and we did 749. So I would say that's literally the same. 100 amps, we pulled 98.6. So it's literally doing the same amount of tone as that. But then I feel like what the big difference between this one and this one would be is how long can it do it for and keep the same voltage. That's what I think is the deal breaker on that. But still, nonetheless, that thing can dish out the power for how little it is, man. I'm telling you. That's what I thought the old school capacitors, what we just tested, would do. You buy something small and you put it back there and it's going to boost your system. That's what that is in my opinion. The capacitors of the 1 farad Rockford Fosgate or whatever, 500K, or 20 farad, whatever it is, it's not enough. It's not enough for what we're doing here. Thank you, Dub. Great show as always. I'm out. Peace. Thank you, Dub, for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. I don't want to keep you too long, but Kicker's been running long recently too, and that's why I don't mind not doing the unmasked shows, the unmasked after shows during summer here, because you never know when they're going to end. Either John or Aaron or the other Aaron or Ernie, someone's running along. So let me write these numbers down, and we'll do it. Let's see, tone, JYNXT, 749, and 98.6 amps. Did 100 before with the other Salt, 89 with the capacitor. We dropped down to 12.6, so virtually the same, and a tad more efficient, 61% efficient, which is exactly what I was saying with the smaller capacitor, is that the efficiency was a little bit better, and this is a hybrid. I don't know. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. And that's why I love this SPL lab for all the testing that you can do. All this stuff. It's literally insane. What kind of wireless headset you got? I got a Corsair. I don't know. It was like $100 on sale. Originally $150. They're made by Elgato, which is the same company that makes my mic over there. Not bad. I like it. It's got decent range. It makes you sound like you're, at 30,000 feet. Other than that, it works great. All right, and we pulled how many amps out of the front of the car? 67.3. So we actually pulled more current out of the front of the car than the Salt. So it's almost acting like that capacitor where it's pulling a little bit more, but not as much because it has some capacity to take the brunt. Other than the capacitor that just kind of is like a pass-through of current per se. It doesn't hold much for what the type of power we're testing, but this is how you're playing your system. Your friend gets in the car, you turn it up, you're playing bass, and this is more for what we do, and obviously you can't do that forever, but time is the name of the game here. So cool. Yeah, we're good. Let's do the dynamic burst next. I appreciate you guys, man. I hope you're having fun. Got 50 people still in here. Thank you guys. Annie channeling Doc Brown right now. Can we get a great Scott? You know what? We can get a great Scott. We can absolutely get a great Scott.
I remember it vividly. I was standing on the edge of my toilet, hanging a clock. The porcelain was wet. I slipped, hit my head on the edge of the sink, and when I came to, I had a revelation. A vision. A picture in my head. A picture of this. This is what makes time travel possible. The flux capacitor.
Flux capacitor.
The flux what? Great Scott! Appreciate you guys. We got you, Andy. Thank you, man. Appreciate you guys. All you guys, man. You guys kill it. Why do I not remember the scene? That is the very first time the Doc Brown showed Marty the flux capacitor. All right, cool. We're all set. Let's see what this JYNXT does at a dynamic burst, 40 hertz. We did 657 with the small capacitor. The Salt we did 781. Let's see what we can get. Oh, I have to hit play. That's right. Alright, so we got 779, which is, wow! It's literally identical to the salt lithium battery. Now, this battery might be a little bit more different than another lithium, lithium iron phosphate, or, lithium titanate, or, Yinglong, whatever battery, Headway. You're going to have some comparisons, but you can see at that initial burst, they're pretty much identical on that. And the salt just got more capacity, but I'm sure if you put more power to it even more, you might see more differences, more voltage drop, stuff like that. So that's awesome. And we pulled 106 amps and 72 up front, still with both of, even though this mini new age farad battery 2000, this is the thing though, it says 2000 farads which I don't, I haven't tested that, but still, I feel like you need a lot more than 8. You need a lot more than even maybe 2000, if you're just using just caps for your system. And all depends how much power you're pulling, man. Awesome. Let me write that down just so we have that and we can go over it, and then we'll go over there and do some giveaway stuff, man. Appreciate you guys, man. We kept this show long, but that's the point, man. Crack. Oh, come on. Come on, Double E. Back to the Future. What's wrong with you? Fix your typo. Alright, so burst 779 watts and pulled 106, and we dropped to 12.4, literally identical to the salt. The salt did 781 and dropped to 12.4. This did 779 and dropped to 12.4. That's insane. But again, the efficiency was better than the salt. Oh, not that one. We already wrote that one down. Yeah, we pulled more power from the front. Nope, 72.9. That's it. That's it. I thought this was going to pull more, but because it has amp hours of capacity compared to that probably has milliamp hours of capacity, in comparison, apples and apples. So this can do that for a little while. And then I bet you after time, it would start pulling some power out of that fuse. So, I don't know. I tried to blow this 50 amp fuse even with this power supply and this whole setup here. I mean, we can turn this on off here and just have it regular and just try to play, some dynamic stuff and see if it'll pop and make sure I don't blow my stuff. But you'll see this amplifier will kind of go into a limp mode per se. See, we're only pulling, see how it just goes down and just kind of shuts off. If you look down here, and there it comes back on. That's the amplifier going into protect. And I feel like the amplifier is going in and out of protect because there's not enough current, to be able to, for this 8 gauge run going through here all the way from the front of the car. And see, it just comes out of protect, goes into protect, comes out of protect, and then just shuts right off. And all we're doing is a dynamic burst. I mean, even with the test tone, I'll show you with the test tone here, it'll do the same thing. This amp, it's got good protective circuitry, a lot like how Kicker stuff is, man. It's kind of dummy proof in a way, and I like that stuff, because if it was a Terra amp or maybe a cheaper amplifier, we wouldn't be talking anymore. This thing would be off and it wouldn't be working. But you can see, look at that. I'm not touching this thing, and that's just a test tone. And it's going up and down, up and down. Now it's not going into protect anymore. It's staying on. And if you look on the bottom right, on the corner here, you can see, I'll try to show you with my mouse here. If you look over here, this is the voltage and stuff in the power. And see how it's ramping up, ramping up, ramping up. And then it'll start spiking because it's cooling down, and then it'll just shut off. We had those spikes over. And I got it full tilt boogie, and I've always known about this amplifier, just because I would call it limp mode. I'm like, it's not as loud anymore. And look at that, it's doing half the power. It's in limp mode. Now I could turn this down and give it a second or two, and it would probably come right back on to full tilt boogie and have no problem. But again, this is at 2 ohms, and it is rated at, see, look, there we go. We're getting our power, and I'm trying not to, see, it's still going into limp mode. You know, and I could do it at 4 ohms, and it would probably stay on a little bit better, but I'd probably fry my resistor in the meantime, and I don't want to do that. But still, man, you know, I love equipment that lasts. It's strong. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'll take it all day. I'll take it all day. All right, I'm going to take this over. We're going to walk over. Excuse me, chair. Let me make sure that this is off, and that can stay on charging. And yeah, we'll do one of these. We'll do a little walk around here. Sorry about the bumps. Oh, you know what? I forgot Kicker Club, but that's okay. Got anybody watching in Kicker Club? We got 6 people in Kicker Club. Say hello, Kicker Club. If you're watching in Kicker Club, let me know. Awesome. Let's bring this over here just so I have the results if we want to talk about them. If not, we don't have to. But I still need to do the winners and stuff and all that fun stuff, you know? Awesome. I might as well switch over my audio here, just so everything's good to go. We need, bear with me guys. Oh, come on. It's not that one. I'll just leave it. I don't know why it's not showing up. That's okay. We don't need it. We don't need it. Awesome. Awesome. I'm kind of upset that we didn't blow any fuses tonight, but at the same time, I hope you guys took something from this, you know, just for the simple fact that maybe I need more than just a capacitor in my trunk. I need a battery just for the simple fact, you know, not per se a battery is going to make more power, but it just has more capacity. And what those capacitors do, like for instance that Boss, it kind of stiffens the voltage, where in the right amount of current draw, a normal battery might have more voltage drop, and what that capacitor does is fill in the gaps. And I wouldn't say it's extremely going to help with headlights. You know, maybe under like 100 watts, maybe might help, but even at 100 watts, you might not even notice. At least that's just from my personal opinion, my experience from them. But yes, I don't know, man. If you guys have any questions about them, drop them down below. But I'm gonna get to these winners here so you guys can get some stuff, man. I believe the awards are all the same. The Kicker 100. The Tumbler, and I think it's EB400s. Quote me if I'm wrong. Oh, God, I'm sorry, guys. I thought I had this off this whole time. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I just ruined the show. I know I did. I'm going to cringe watching this later. Darn it. It's because I was going to undo that. It's because StreamYard's being weird. That's why. Not input, I need output switched. There we go. Yay. Okay, now we're good. I blame StreamYard because it distracted me. It distracted me. I was halfway changing it around so I could use my other headphones and mic. There we go. There we go. Much better. Much better. Alright, cool. Let's see. Yeah, that should be off. We shouldn't have any echo. Wow, my voice is so much louder with these. That's crazy. Thank you, Jeremy B. Appreciate you, man. Wasn't that bad. All good. You had one job, I know. Where's Ernie when you need him, though, man? God, I would kill for an Ernie right now, you know? That's it, Cornut, but you guys are there to help me. You guys are there. I appreciate you guys. I would be lost. Let's see. There we go. That's good. Man, I was booming. Amp hour and farad relationship. Oh, man. That is a good one. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to look that up, choke change, and I'll try to bring that up Friday. I'm going to do some digging. Good question. Very good question. I'm sure they have some relativeness, you know, relation, but I feel like farad is just how they rate the type of just capacity, as in maybe a discharge rate, rather not a C rate as in whatever of amp hour discharge capacity. It's something else, and I don't know. But that's a very good question. All right, let's rig this thing, shall we? $50.80 y'all have entered. Appreciate you guys. Oh, that's an update. Oops. They literally updated Gleam since yesterday, or Sunday was it? All right, let's get to this thing. Let's get to it. No. Why is that a... okay, we're good. I had a window over there, and then I hit a button, and then the second window was over there still. I'm like, oh, come on, man. All right, let's see. Oh, don't tell me they're doing that now. It worked. Good. No. Come on. There we go. No, I can't. Why can't I hide? I don't like this update. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like new things. Call me old-fashioned. See, I don't like that. Oh, man. That's okay. That's okay. I'll just have to do more working. It's alright. Cool. Maybe it's a kind of like a battery versus cap relationship. Thanks, Andy. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm definitely going to figure that out. I definitely will. Kibo, it's too late to enter anyway. It's too late. Gotta love when the allergies start hitting. Come on, 25. Come on, man. You know the deal. If anybody knows the deal, it's 25. Okie dokie, okie dokie. Nice. I don't know about this one. Looks like they're calling about my insurance. Speaking of insurance, State Farm. State Farm. Is it State Farm? Yeah, it's State Farm. You're in good hands. You're in good hands by State Farm. The show is brought to you by State Farm. Just kidding. No, for real though, they're not that bad. I have Geico, but yeah. All right, cool. Man, this might be first time. Let's see. Oh, I knew it. I knew they always slide in there. They always slide in there. I missed Jake's comment. I missed all of them. He missed even every comment I put in here. You know, I missed that one too. No, I don't see your comments, man. I got you on ghost mode. Have you seen the current averaging amp from Tony D'Amore? He has a 1500 RMS amp running off a cigarette lighter plug pulling 5 amp. That is a good one. I mean, if you put a battery or a bunch of capacitors in the amplifier, you're doing the same thing. You know, to be honest with you, there's no such thing as efficiency over 100%. I mean, the only thing that's 100% efficient is a heater, because the wasted heat turns into heat. That's it. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't like this new update. Bill, you should have told me they updated Gleam. I mean, it's the same, but it's like, man, going from like iOS like 4 to like 17. Okay, is this still gonna work for me? I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, good. No, we need... Good. Oh, this is kind of storybook right there, man. This guy's pretty cool. You know, and it's not that it's rigged, but we like to see, you know, things go out to the ones that support. Not bad. Dabbing, Ashy. Dabbing. Now I gotta write down some winners. And I think that these are the same. I should know this. I think they're the same awards. I know the Kicker Tumbler is still third place, unless it moved up one or something. It might have moved up one. I can actually just look. Bluetooth speaker, EB400, and the tumbler. So we're good. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Actually, yeah, that's okay. We'll worry about that later. Kicker, tumbler. Should be able to do this, right? Yeah. That makes it a little bit easier. And second place. Bear with me, guys. Appreciate you guys all hanging out with me. I miss doing Kicking with Andy. It's just, the live streams on Friday are great. But this is always fun. Just because I know I do a lot more, you know, planning on the show. Just so that it is, you know, you can take away something from it. You know, I wish there was a Pennsylvania City, Pennsylvania, but there's one in Oklahoma. You know, it's the little things that make me laugh. It's awesome. All right, now first place, the grand prize from Kicker. Well, it's all from Kicker. Thank you, Kicker. Put hashtag thank you, Kicker, just because they're awesome and they do this for us, and they're Kicker. They're awesome. What else more needs to be said? And... Oh. Nope. I'll just type that in. Well, they spell the bird just like Pittsburgh with the H. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. And then the 50% off discount code. I can't wait to get rid of these codes, man. I got like 5 or 6 ready, just lined up for you guys. And I know you guys are excited to get these, man, because 50% off at anything at kicker.com. I'm talking t-shirts, anything that they sell at kicker.com. You can buy and get 50% off. And the shipping's free, anything over 25 regardless. So, I mean, it's awesome. Okay, so we got a Philly. Philly boy. Awesome. Let's see how many. Oh, I missed 40 comments. Man, you guys are awesome. Hey, Cookie Monster just moved. It's got DIY up in here. Appreciate you guys. There it is. One. I'm in Limon, PA. Well, it's wherever that you, wherever your cell tower, wow, pinged from last, and that's what comes up on my end here. Ashley, we're gonna have to just give you one, man. If I win the 50% discount code selling for $2K or a ticket to America, I mean, it's worth more than that, Double E. I don't know, man. You're gonna have to ask for the trip back to America. Don't always forget to ask for the trip back. I know a few people forgot to do that, you know, because, yeah. Gotta get both, man. But I appreciate you guys, and it is awesome to get that discount code. It is killer. Awesome. So, let's do the winner. Banners. Man, I'm rusty. All right, so, third place is the Kicker Tumbler and Kicker Swag Pack, of course. Everything that you guys get here, you get the koozie, the lanyard, stuff like that. Kicker just hooks you up, gets you some Kicker gear. It's awesome. Third place goes to Joe K from Winchester, Kentucky. Congratulations, Joe. You'll be getting your stuff. Look for an email from Mr. Bill Braun, a.k.a. Kicker at Social. And keep checking your email just so that they can send you that stuff. And make sure you didn't click Schmedium. You know the Kipism. Appreciate you guys. In second place, the EB400s, Jason H. from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. How cool is that? That's awesome. You know, Pennsylvania City, Pennsylvania, I don't know. It just doesn't roll like Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. It's awesome. Congratulations, Jason. You're going to love those EV400s. They're like water resistance, IP67 or 66. I don't know. They're like water resistance just so that you can run in the rain, sweat, you know. You fell in the pool, pull them out real fast. You should be okay. So they're awesome, and you're going to love your swag pack as well. In first place, for the BF Bullfrog 100, we got the big brother over there, the 400. I love the 100, though. It's just more convenient. And, of course, the Kicker Swag Pack is Lawrence K. from Newburgh, New York. Congratulations, Lawrence. I know who you are. I know a lot of you guys, man. I appreciate you tuning in, and congratulations. You're going to love your Bullfrog. Again, all you guys that won the first to third place, you're going to get an email from Bill. For the 50% off discount code, you're going to get an email from me. So make sure you answer that I'm not a robot, and then I'm going to send you your discount code. But without further ado, for the 50% off discount code, anything at kicker.com is Juan R. from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Juan, that's you. Congratulations, man. It is definitely rigged. Man, this was an awesome show, and I feel like I could do this for like another 2 hours on this topic and sit here now for another hour and just tell you guys about lithium and capacitors and just the different chemistries, but I tried my best over there to have fun and do some amp dyno stuff. And I don't know, man, if you guys got any ideas on future topics, man, I don't know, just hit me up in YouTube, Messenger, you name it. I'm on all the platforms. Give me some ideas for future content shows, and you know what I'm working with here. So without further ado, though, thank you guys so much for watching Kickin' with Andy. It's just great to be back, man. And Kicker, thank you so much for making these shows a possibility, for all these giveaways and everybody else. But man, thank you guys for watching. And boss, you did good. Great stuff for what it is, man. You know, I can't wait to dyno the Boss amp over there, but even Boss amplifiers, they're really hard to blow up, and I love dummy-proof equipment, man. So it did well. Fighting Muhammad Ali is not easy, so you did good. You did good. Appreciate you guys, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Yes. It's okay, Double E. There's always next time. Uncle Bobby B, I'll see you later. Let's see. Simone Stately, I won 50% off Kicker, but I probably messaged you back too late. Yeah, I give you guys like 3 weeks. Just always check your email. It's going to be coming from livingloudwithandy@gmail.com. All I'm saying is hello, and I just need you to say something back saying that you're who you are, that you want your discount code, and then I send it over, man. But sorry about that. There's always next time, but I appreciate you tuning in, Simon, and I'm sure maybe we might be able to do something for you. Ernie! All right, guys, without further ado, we got to do the intro, outro video. Thank you guys so much for watching Kickin' with Andy, aka the other Unmasked show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you maybe in the after party. We'll see. See you on Friday, and as always, stay living loud.
Let's get it.
With Andy, Kickin' it with Andy, Kickin' it with Andy,
Uh-oh.
Kickin' it with Andy, Kickin' it with Andy, Kickin' it with Andy,
Yeah.
Kickin' it with
Okay. I see what we're doing. Kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. Living loud. Hey, yo, we kicking it with Andy at the house. He's coming to you live from the casting couch. He's a kicker freak. Hey, yo, what you think? So grab a seat and get your favorite drink. Don't go nowhere, you'll be glad you waited. Andy content comes highly rated. He got more hits than a Brooklyn mobster, doing hair tricks in the Cookie Monster. Straight give you goosebumps like you ticklish. Hey yo, rest in peace to Chris the Fish. You'll get your popcorn and he's going live, but the show don't start till Deviant arrives. What?
John K. rolled up to learn some sound effects. You met the good peeps, now chillin', relax. The after show is lit, yo, check the live chat. And there's a clip, you wanna try that. Kicking it with Andy is such a dope show. He stays super positive and a super chill bro. Making us laugh with his McGill memes. Quality content in all of his streams. Why does Cookie Monster bang harder than a wall? Cause he was the big brand name that started it all. Kick your bass so low that it's messing with your psyche. Y'all running sketcher while my homie running Nike. My homie running Nike. My homie running Nike. My homie running Nike.
Hey yo, Johnny, have a seat, relax. We got this next one. Yeah. Hey yo, check me out. Third verse like that, we say the best for last. Drop a super chat to get your questions asked. 5K subs, yo, he gon' hit. Got a L7X and a Recon kit. Tuesday and Friday, yo, we on the set. Unless he get that Patreon check, go ahead, subscribe, and he's on the mic. If you gotta run by, please hit the like. Solo and Wiz got that fish tank filled, but is he ever gonna finish that Walmart build? Ain't got a witness, so we'll never know. That was 3 minutes, now enjoy the show. Let's go.
My homie running Nike.
Hey yo, Andy, we love you, boy. Keep doing your thing, King. You got this.
My homie running Nike.
Marty, we need to go back. All right, Doc. Oh, the flux capacitor. Oh, Back to the Future. It's great stuff. Appreciate you, Cornut. Always coming in the early caboose. Jason Grant. Dope stuff. I don't know what the rest of that means. Thank you so much, man. $10 super chat. I got to throw this up because this is for only Tuesdays.
This is what makes time travel possible. The flux capacitor.
Flux capacitor.
Yes. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you tuning in. And Deviant comes in. That song, though, great show, Andy. Appreciate you guys. And Marty McFly is for the win. I love you guys. I'll see you in the after party, and I will see you Friday. And as always, stay living loud.